Welcome back to the Niagara II. The conditions are similar to the previous dive. It's still raining, and the seas are getting pretty choppy. So we get right out of it and head down to calmer waters. As before, I'm accompanied by Peter Schaefer and Michael Moulton of Divers World, located in Erie, Pennsylvania. And we're all enjoying the sensation of the shipwreck coming into view at the beginning of our descent. The stern of the ship is a bit shallower than the bow, sitting in around 85 foot of water. Almost instantly upon arrival, Peter signals for me to follow him inside the ship. He slowly descends into the engine room, amongst the ladders and walkways and pipes. The sensation of hovering above a stairway and being able to float from room to room must be very similar to what an astronaut feels like in space. And to look down a narrow corridor and see an endless expanse of bright blue waters. We slowly float on and come upon the enormous stack. When looking to the sky from the bottom of this gigantic smokestack, it almost begs a diver to come and swim through. There are plenty of cutouts provided for a diver to swim or to peer through on their way up the stack. Looking down the tube offers an interesting perspective of divers passing by. The large cutout exposes the bubbles of another diver being called up through the stack. Next we come upon the Wheelhouse. Taking a glimpse inside, you can see the wheel and some electric wires hanging from the ceiling. When the Tobermory Maritime Association first purchased the Niagara II, it came without a wheel, and quickly the president of the association built a wheel specifically for this wreck. A ship without a wheel is like a person without a soul, he said. How do you connect with a ship if it doesn't have a wheel? As you can see, we're having no trouble connecting with the ship. Next, we swim to the starboard side of the ship and get a different perspective of the same narrow corridor that we peered through earlier. And notice a light bulb still screwed into its fixture. On the port side, the window hatches are vented open above the gangway. Here you can see the giant cutout in the floor, which is another entry and exit point into the engine room. Peter is intrigued by this and descends in a bit deeper to get a better look inside. This is one of the most fun times I can remember having on a shipwreck, and by the end of the trip, the entire team was referring to this shipwreck as the playground. It's not too often that you can penetrate through nearly the entire wreck and never lose the sight of day. Peering into this room, I see the safe, and just above, two portholes which look like ever vigilant eyes looking in. A wooden chair is pushed against the desk below the porthole inside this bunk room. I catch the tip of Michael's fins as he swims into one of the rooms, and I quickly follow him in. We make our way through the mess hall and come across some of the crew's quarters. A rec reel is not needed on the Niagara II because every room has multiple exit points. The Canadian flag proudly waves in the current, standing above the stern, which rises off the bottom nearly 40 feet. As these divers make their way closer to me, you can clearly see the thermocline, which creates that visual ripple effect. For so many different reasons, this dive site exceeded our expectations, and we'll look forward to diving here again in the future.